Hi, I'm Holly and this is Bridal Hair on My Wedding Scrapbook. Today I'm going to show you how to do this super easy DIY bridal hair look, which is great for all you brides who want to do your hair yourself. So for this look, I'm going to start off with a nice side parting, so nothing too dramatic, but just to keep it quite classic. So you have to think the picture's going to be around forever, so you want them to age well. So I'm just going to take this over the side. So I'm just going to section off about 1.5 inches of the hair there. With the rest of the hair, we're going to section again, this time working from ear to ear, just about over the ear, and splitting the hair in two. So I'm just going to tie a bobbin in the bottom lengths to keep it out of the way, and we'll come back to this a bit later. Taking down the top section, we're going to split this in half again, taking about a 2-inch section from behind the bangs that we've sectioned off at the start. We're just going to pull that to one side. So again, working from ear to ear to section it off. And just do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so after this you should be left with quite a big section from about the crown of your head back to the centre parting that you started off at the start. So this is going to form the basis for our bump, and it is kind of the foundation that's going to hold the whole style together. Starting at the crown, start working your brush down towards the back of the hair, brushing towards the root till you get nice stiff hair that can kind of stand up on its own. So we're just going to do the exact same thing with the next section of hair. So again, this adds a bit of volume to the back of your style and makes the hair a lot easier to work with. So now we're going to work the two sections that we backcombed into one big bump. So taking the two sections together, just give them another quick backcomb just to make sure they're ready to go. So you're kind of going for a kind of troll look here. So we're going for something quite small here. Just going to position it about there, so into a sausage shape, grab a curvy grip, pin in place. So don't worry if this looks really knotty and messy, because you have your front section of hair here, which is going to go back and cover all the bumps. Once you have the sausage paste pinned in shape, pull it out, so it's like a little fan, and then pin in place again. Now we're going to take down the middle section of hair. So this is not your bangs at the front and not the knotty bit, it's just the middle section. So with this hair, we're going to backcomb it slightly at the root just to give it a tiny bit of lift, and then we're going to pull it back over the bump we've created. So I'm going to start in the middle, which is a good idea because then you can gauge how much hair you're going to need to cover the sides. Oops. So again, a tiny little bit of backcombing. Pull it back over, all the time working towards the back of the head. So once you're happy with the position of the hair, pin in place using a curvy grip the same shade as your own hair. So just continue doing this until you've used up all the hair at the front of the head. So to finish off this style, I'm just going to add a bit of movement to the bottom layers of my hair. So I'm just using a curling wand for this, but you can use, a GHD or hot rollers or whatever you prefer. I'm just going to wind the hair around the wand, leave it for about 10 seconds until I get quite a tight curl, and then leave it to cool and brush it out. Once you curl the lengths of your hair and they've definitely cooled, just run your fingers through to kind of break up the curls. Take the middle section at the back of the hair. Oops. And again, we're going to backcomb slightly, just a little bit, at the root before we start to pin it up. So all we're going to do then is roll the hair towards your meeting point here where the bump is, and pin in place. Now, I'm going to leave the longer curly bit of the section out, and this I can pin in place at the very end. Once you have the back all pinned up nice and securely, we're going to finish off by taking down these front sections here. So depending on the length of your hair, whether you have bangs that you can just sweep to the side or longer layers like me, it's always nice to frame the face, especially if you're not going to be wearing a veil. So what we're going to do with this section here, I'm just going to curl it slightly in towards the face and let that fall. And I'm just going to take out the shorter layer so it's not too long, and pull the rest of the hair back and incorporate it into the style at the back. So I'm just going to back comb that ever so slightly, and you'll see that it just helps the hair sit up a little bit more. It's just very, it's nice and flattering on the face. Nice little bit of volume. And then I'm just going to brush it back into my style, keeping it nice and loose. For any longer bits that fall behind the ear, I'm just going to put a little pin in there just to keep them in place. One little bit of hairspray and then we're all done. So there you have it, guys, a really easy fuss-free style that you can do yourself on the morning of your wedding. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tune in next week where I'll be showing you how to do gorgeous bridal hair to wear with a tiara. See you then.